Okay, let's put in a quick update for GTII as we do have a potential floor being found. Okay, I want to express potential. Okay, let's go ahead and validate now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTII technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we're looking at GTII on the 3-day chart here, and we are still pending the information that we're going to get upon the closure of this 3-day candle iteration. Okay, so as soon as we do get this closure, which could be tomorrow, we are going to see what momentum versus volatility have done for us. Okay, so the 5-day iteration is also a very curious one as well. Okay, now that we do have a green candle printing here on the 5-day, we want to see upon the closure, which again is going to be tomorrow, we want to see how that flashed our momentum versus volatility. Okay, two very important time frames to keep an eye on. Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that following up in the following day. Okay, so I want to just talk about the support touch that we actually are looking at yet again. Okay, because the spinning top doji that we printed here on the 12-hour candle is very much in respects to what was happening today regarding the Fed giving their testimony and also their semi-annual monetary policy report. Okay, so that is essentially why we were facing the pressures that we did today. Okay, so it's great. Okay, so at a certain point earlier in the day, we started capitulating, and upon whatever Jerome Powell said, which must have been good for the broader markets because the NDX also did kind of bounce to the upside a little later on. Okay, so whatever that was, it did affect GTII and it did push it to the upside, which is very curious because we are at a critical support and a potential floor. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next support touch. Okay, so please notice here, 6-hour spinning top doji right down here as well came back and tested this newly converted what was a resistance into now a support yet again. And what line is this exactly? Well, please go ahead and remember that we have been talking about this broadening descending wedge for quite some time. And upon the breakout of a very important test number 4, right? So this is now test number 4 breakout right down here. Sorry, that is incredibly important for us to take notice because upon breaking out, we need to come back and test our validations, right? So we broke out of this. I know it's a little bit of a mess right here, guys. We've been following this for quite some time. We're just keeping an eye on a lot of metrics here, right? So yeah, so we broke out of this blue line, right? And we came back, we broke out of it here, right? And now we're coming back and validating it, right? So everything is looking pretty good thus far, you guys. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart, which is actually going to be the RSI, which there's some signals here that are signaling a potential floor being found as well, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, let's refer to, like we always do, let's refer to the 30-minute immediate short term and see what it's got for us. RSI signal crossing the 14-day simple moving average represented by that pink line. We are in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, suggesting a downside continuation. Again, remember, 30 minutes. This is likely to live out pretty fast. Now, what validates the downside for the 30-minute is, in fact, the 4-hour, okay? Now, the 4-hour and the 8-hour are indicative of a floor being found. And why is that? Well, if you can see right down here, we have two forms of support where the 14-day simple moving average is sitting. Okay, so I'm speaking for both the 8-hour and the 4-hour. Okay, both of these time frames are in a very similar situation. We have the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile and the 14-day simple moving average with the RSI facing down and potentially finding that support touch from both of those supports, okay? Very similar here on the 8-hour. As soon as we do touch that 14-day simple moving average and the gravitational zone, we can expect a bounce to the upside. Okay, so now if we refer to the 12-hour, it's looking like there is a little bit of bullishness happening, but please remember your position of your RSI. Okay, so in this case, we are definitely within that gravitational zone, and it is suggesting for us to kind of find a little bit of consolidation or up and down trading. The great thing here is in fact that we have the 14-day simple moving average below us. Okay, so that is incredibly important. So we got a bullish cross above that 14-day simple moving average just on last Thursday. You know, the Thursday that just passed. So that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and now look at the buy daily iteration here, and please notice that we are still suggesting some sideways trading. And if we jump onto the 5-day, The 5-day has definitely found that support from that 14-day simple moving average, and it's currently sitting at a very important and critical place. Okay, this is the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which would essentially have us push up to the upside. Okay, so we're definitely in a pretty good stance right now. Everything is suggesting a potential upside incoming for GTII. Okay, but we have apologies. We have a lot of validation to kind of take into consideration right now, okay? And also we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go ahead and touch down on our, oh, you know what, this is a pretty good view for you to understand, right? So on a macro, just kind of a zoomed out view, you can actually see just why I'm talking about a potential floor being found before we can actually move on to the upside, right? So what you're looking at here is a typical ABCD strategy correction, and that usually happens when you're doing something like this. So this would be your A touch, this would be your B touch, this is going to be your C, and now this is the D final take profit for the short sellers or the short bias traders, right? So what I'm saying is basically that we are in the process of creating now an E cycle, okay? So now that E wave is actually going to turn this into now an Elliott wave. I think they're called speed cycles, okay? I believe they are. I'm not studying too much of Elliott wave or Wyckoff theory, but it is present there, which would create the E touch somewhere at about maybe $4.84. We will see how that moves, okay? But everything is still looking pretty good for the GTII asset. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever, okay? You guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be just fine, okay? Please refer to the links in the description below if you would like to visit me in Twitter or Discord, okay? But with that said, I wish everyone very well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.